Hello. You guys get first thing Saturday morning. My name is Dylan Enchendra. I am an anchor and reporter for Hawaii News Now, and it is an honor to be here today with you all for the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. And right off the bat, can we give a nice round of applause to all of the event organizers today? They worked so hard to put this together. Let's give a nice round of applause. Happy to attend a very special guest. Please give a nice round of applause to the Hawaii Lieutenant Governor, Ms. Sylvia Luke. She will be presenting her own app that she developed. What is the purpose of your app again, Lieutenant Governor? What is the purpose of the app you developed? Eliminating taxes? Wow, you're so good! Thank you so much. That's a very valuable app. Now, before we start the program, I would like to mention that your presentation day is finally here, and after 4 weeks of hard work, you all have made it to the judging and presentation day. So give yourselves a nice round of applause. To the presentations, we want to go over a few friendly reminders. We ask that everyone please hold off on their conversations during the presentations, as we want to be respectful to all of our teams presenting here today. We also encourage you folks to visit our sponsor tables located around the room. This event would not have happened without their generous support, so thank you to all of our sponsors here. We will have a break halfway through the day. We will have a break halfway through the day for a lunch break, and also a quick little break in between certain categories during the presentation period. And we also want to let you know that this event will be recorded and shared on the HACC website. Now, if you have not yet found the restroom location, good luck. That is a new challenge for you today. I'm just kidding. It's out the door, around the corner, down the hall, and you will see it there. And at this time, after a few opening remarks, we will begin the competition with the team presentations, and by the end of the day, you all will find out the winners. At this time, I would like to introduce Christine Sakura, Chief Information Officer of the State of Hawaii.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
So glad to see so many of you here today, and I'd like to welcome you again to the 10th annual Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. We're really excited to celebrate this year. 10 years is a big hallmark year for us. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So before we move further, I just wanted to share with you that we have started off with 98 participants and 32 teams this year. And so please give them a round of applause. All made it this far in the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. We narrowed down the 32 teams to 21 who made it through the technical challenge, and 19 teams will be presenting today. Making it to the final day is an amazing accomplishment, and we are all so proud of you. So give them a round of applause. The 19 teams. For those of you that are guests here today, we wanted to just share a little bit more about the Code Challenge, and the teams had the benefit of participating in numerous workshops. They took advantage of different types of workshops around cybersecurity, privacy, introductions to various AI coding platforms, and resources, as well as important skills on how to manage projects and how to present. It's a great resource for our teams to build in order to present at the Code Challenge today. And so we're very happy that we want to thank our sponsors for providing those resources to our teams. And why don't we give them a round of applause? We're going to talk more about them later. Please give them a round of applause. Through this experience, you have enhanced your skills and made some lifelong friends, found people you can collaborate with, and perhaps future business partners around the world. Thank you all for participating in making the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge a success. And I just wanted to say a few comments about the 10th year. As you know, the purpose of the Code Challenge is to encourage civic engagement. It's to strengthen the lower and higher education pipeline for our IT workforce, to build that capacity in Hawaii that is so important for us, especially as technology innovates and modernizes, and we have AI and cloud innovation, all kinds of tools that at your disposal to help us solve the problems that we face today. And we're very thrilled to continue the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. This means that helping all of you here today to develop your IT and public speaking skills is really a strong benefit. Former Governor Eadie's initial idea was to use the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge to innovate state government. And that has evolved over the years to really focus on tech workforce innovation, working with local and national tech companies to create a strong talent pool from high school, junior high school, college, and into the professions. And some of you are budding code developers, software engineers, cybersecurity leaders, and we're really, really excited for you. One organization even used the challenge side to train their team on creating and managing technical challenge solution development. Many participants use their involvement to enhance or expand resumes. Some of the people were actually hired from the talent pool and the vendors that are here. And so really, we hope that you continue to take advantage of the opportunities that are here today. Okay. Your teams have created solutions to the 4 challenges. Congratulations to those of you who have made it this round and will be sharing your presentations today. Your teams have only had a few weeks to create your proof of concepts and then build a tool that could be used by the community. By taking the time to work together as a team and trying to find the solutions, you're putting yourself out there for a concept that may or may not succeed, and that's exactly how you learn. Collaboration, imagination, innovation, and taking risks. We all applaud you in those efforts. After completing the hack, you will definitely know more about IT development and the ability to be resilient as we continue to move forward. And there is a prize money waiting for you if you do win, up to $3,000 for each category. So education does really pay off as you continue to move forward. Best of luck for you and all the thanks for being here today. And I really want to congratulate you again for getting this far to our teams, and we really look forward to seeing your presentations. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke to say a few messages with you. Thank you. Please give her a hand.
Good morning and aloha. Aloha. It's so wonderful to be here, and congratulations to everyone for the 10th annual Code Challenge. I'm going to give you a couple of stories about what code and AI and technology does for the state of government. And the first example is not a good one. So several years ago, we were sued by an inmate, family of an inmate. So it's an incarcerated individual. And we tried to figure out, okay, what led to this lawsuit? The reason for that is there was an individual who was in jail for a very long time. And one day he was told, okay, pack your bags. Okay, now you can leave. And the trigger was he was there for about a year more than he was supposed to. And the reason for that is all the things about how long he had to stay was in paper. So anytime he was on probation and got out for good behavior, and then he came back because he violated something, it was all recorded in paper. And can you imagine to track down an individual who you had to do it in paper, you were incarcerated, and at some point in time it got complicated. So this individual was in jail for 1 year longer than he had to. And we modernized that system, so everything got coded. But what you folks do, we can talk about IT, we can talk about technology, we can talk about innovation, but what you folks do are impacting individuals' freedom or individuals' lives. And this is an example of what you folks could potentially do. I'm going to give you another example. So this is something that our office has been directly involved. So when Dylan asked me, oh, what have you been, what were you guys doing? system were you improving? I thought you were already like looking and having a foresight about what my speech was gonna be, because I'm gonna describe this one system that we have been working on, and it's called Akamai Arrival. Have you been, how many of you folks been out of state and you come back home and you gotta fill out a paper form? It's the ag form. Okay, raise your hand. A bunch of you, and the first thing that they tell you is people pass out the ag form and they go, okay, if you don't have a pen, we don't have a pen for you. Please ask your neighbor for a pen. And the last thing that you want to do, this is an individual, you try to ignore the whole flight. And the last thing you want to do is you look in your bag and you go, I don't have a bag. Now I gotta talk to this individual that I didn't want to talk to for the last 6 hours. And you're like in a conundrum because you're like, all of a sudden, oh, now I gotta ask them. It's an awkward situation. And can you imagine what was happening during COVID? We had to keep 6 feet distance and we couldn't really touch each other. And even during COVID, if you didn't have a pen, you had to go share your pen. And how contrary is that message from state government? So since its inception of the ag form, it has always been in paper. But can you imagine, think of all the problems related to having an ag form in a paper form. Okay, so one example, when it rains, the flight attendants gather the ag form, they put it down the chute, so it's the side of the plane, put it down the chute, and it's raining, and it becomes like this big ball. So how do you know who's bringing in illegal items if it ends up being this big ball? Or another example is, say that you do bring something in, and by the time the ag inspectors check the papers, the person has gone and left, and it's hard to track down. Since its inception, since the start of the law, we have never digitized, or we have never put it in a system that could be collected in a data form until this year. So we've been working with the Department of Agriculture and many of our IT partners. We now can do a digital ag form. And so what happened? The first week of announcement is somebody who is a little bit too smart for their own good put down, I'm gonna bring in a zebra. Guess what happened? In the past, if somebody put down, I'm gonna bring a zebra into the state of Hawaii, chances are the paper form is gonna be looked at by somebody over a week ago and a week later, and the person is gone already, and how do you track that individual down? But say that what is your name? Kyle put down, I'm gonna put in a zebra, and this is a real story. So somebody put, I'm gonna bring in a zebra. Guess what happened? The Department of Ag individual met Kyle at the airport and said, seriously, you have a zebra? Because that's a problem. And Kyle, not this Kyle, but AKA Kyle, was very apologetic and said, I'm so sorry. I should not be making a joke out of biosecurity. And I know biosecurity is really important. So for the customer experience, it's so much better. For the Department of Ag, it's so much better. And unlike before, where we barely had maybe like 40 to 50% compliance rate, we are having 80% compliance rate because, as all of you can see, doing a digital form takes only like a couple minutes, and it's so easy and it's so much better. And if we're trying to improve compliance on the people who need to comply, and at the same time, making it easier for state departments to be responsive, what you folks are doing for us is reimagining government and reimagining how we can improve not just the state of Hawaii, but how we do things on a daily basis. How can we improve the lives of each and every one of you folks so that we can provide better service? So I can't thank you enough for being a participant in this code challenge, because for you, you're like, oh, this is really fun. For us, this is serious stuff. This is like something that we can use some of your ideas, and we're gonna maybe nab some of you folks for future careers in either state government, or some of these folks here will be thinking of hiring you folks. But the things that you folks do, the technology, the cybersecurity, it changes on a daily basis. And the way that you think, when you're doing coding, when you're doing innovation IT. That's how state government has to be. So mahalo to Christine, mahalo to the organizer, mahalo to the judges for taking the time to be here, and mahalo to the participants, and have a terrific competition. Mahalo.
She said, quote, "Don't bring in a zebra."
Please give the Lieutenant Governor Sylvie Group another round of applause. My arrival act, so that we don't bring in any zoo animals into Hawaii. Thank you. So I wanted to read one of the things that the Lieutenant Governor said, which is, it's amazing that over the last 10 years, the state government has really been turning to the community to help it solve its problems. And that community members are you and the students and the tech community that have come before you. And so as we take a pause this year, in our 10th year, we're going to take a pause and reimagine what could a new code challenge look like with the advancements in AI, artificial intelligence, and innovation. And so this year is actually a very special year for us, because as you're all presenting, we're really thinking about what does the code challenge look like in the next 10 years or 20 years? What kind of challenges can we tee up for that are challenges within state government that we can ask you for your help to help solve with us? We're really, really, really excited about that. And thank you for your participation in that. So today's event, of course, is at the University of Hawaii West Oahu campus. And this event would not have been possible without our presenting partner, the University of Hawaii. And to say a few words, I'd like to invite Garrett Yoshimi, VP of IT and the CIO of UH, and my partner in crime. Give Garrett a round of applause.
So she gave me the toughest challenge. I have to follow Christine and LG. And I promise, LG, it wasn't me that actually put that in the form. I thought about it. Yeah, wasn't me. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the beautiful University of Hawaii West Oahu campus. On behalf of University of Hawaii President Mike Hensel, Maynette Benham, the chancellor for this campus, and actually Carlos Penaloza, the incoming chancellor for next year for UH West Oahu. Welcome to the campus. Love having these events on campus. It's absolutely wonderful to see all the, not only all the smiling faces, but the awesome ideas and the work that you folks, that all the teams have put into the effort. It's a really big deal. Give yourselves a hand. Most of the cool stuff has already been said, so I'll keep my remarks very short. But there's a couple of things that I want to make sure that I plant in mind, because this is very, very important. It's critically important. So both Christine and Sylvia have already mentioned jobs, careers, future opportunities. That is absolutely one of the key things, or one of the key reasons that this event has been great, absolutely popular, and productive over a number of years. I can tell you that the university has in fact hired at least a handful of individuals out of the last several events. So keep that in mind. Come see Christine too. But all the partners around the room. That is actually one of the things that is very, very valuable for our partners in the room, to make sure that we have the opportunity together to see the best and brightest, the up and coming, as well as the folks that are really going to make a difference for the community on a going forward basis. So remember that, keep that in mind, stick around. After the event finishes, after the presentations finish, collect your prize money, go hang out with the folks that are around the room. Really important. That is a big reason why they're here as well. I will tell you as well that one of the key things, and first 2 or 3 things out of President Hensel when she speaks at events and talks to people, is AI and workforce. Absolutely critical for us to be the partner for the state going forward, to make sure that we can support that investment in those critical areas, not just for the students and for the university, but for everybody. Statewide importance. You heard the governor talk about the need for the skilled workforce to feed this particular area, IT in particular, but also the impact that technologies and AI will have across all of our industries. This is not just an IT thing. This is AI and technology impacts everybody, every place, every economy, all industries, hospitality, medical, finance, all of the traditional industries that have been widespread across the world, just not just the Hawaii state, but also across the nation, across the world. So this is a great opportunity for you to shine in your moment. I will say good luck, break a leg, good luck, do well, have fun. That's the main thing here, have fun, and go for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe, for being such a great supporter of this event. And also thank you for offering jobs to everyone in the room. You guys hear that? You guys get a job lined up with him. Just see him right after, all right? And we also want to give a shout out to one of our petabyte sponsors. Google has been an active supporter of the hack. And here to say a few words for Google is Daniel Liu, Head of Customer Engineering, Google Public Sector. Please welcome Daniel, everybody.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Daniel Liu. I'm leading the customer engineer group for Google Public Sector West. It's been such an honor to anticipate this years of hack again. I think this is one of the grand finale for the 10 years anniversary. In the last 10 years, I think I've been to the hack at least 7 times and being judged for the last 4 times. But time really passed so fast, a decade goes by. What I've seen is that technology has changed so much in the last decade, right? Some of the early challenges that we have, now we are in the area of agentic AI. If you look at historical go back a couple hundred years ago, right? In the 17th century, what are some of the biggest inventions that steam power for the Industrial Revolution, right? It almost took 100 years for us to get into a new technology with electricity, right? Which really changed the way the world impacted how we live today. Now, moving forward, right? In 1969, well, about 50 years ago, now we have those information technology coming. What happens in the last decade? The internet, the mobile phones, everything that comes out, right? So information can change so fast, and now we're in a decade of AI, especially the last couple of years, everybody's talking about AI. Right? So you have some of those large companies that does like Google, OpenAI, there's all those large language models in the back, right? But what's really impact is how do you develop those killer solutions based on those large models that can actually solve real problems. Right? So at Google, everybody DeepMind, right? So you have all those smart research scientists, right? Their day-to-day life is trying to solve the world's biggest problem, right? Climate change, how do you do cancer research and all that. But now I'm thinking about in spirit, those are exactly the things that you're doing in the last 2 months, right? You're trying to use this technology to solve the problems that very specifically for the state of Hawaii. So I'm really, really proud of it, right? The technology changed so fast. I was actually eating a dinner with a bunch of friends talking about like, how do people know how to drive a stick-shift car nowadays? Those of you can tell the edge right now. I don't know how to drive that, right? But the question we're asking about 20 years ago, 10 years later, I'm not answering that one. How many people actually know how to drive a car? I feel like this generation here, it's all going to be autonomous cars, and nobody knows how to drive a car. So that's really the next question here. So, as technology companies building those great technology, but we're trying to solve the greatest world problem, but you are here really doing the same thing, right? To solve those problems for government, specifically some of those challenges that you're doing for the state of Hawaii, the resident here. So as a technologist, I am not necessarily looking, but I love to look at the code. You're probably doing a lot of vibe coding, you're doing vibe coding, right? But I'm not looking at the clean code, but I'm really looking at the impact, right? The things that get to actually impact the way how we live and make it. So I'm really looking forward for this, listening to all these great challenges as I did in the past years. Mahalo, you really enjoyed this experience, and I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Mahalo, Millie, for your support. At this time, we also would like to call our next petabyte sponsor, Microsoft. Thank you for your tremendous support to Rick Joyner, West Region Azure Sales.
What an honor to be here at the 10th annual Code Challenge. And as someone who commuted in from the mainland, I used the Akamai program just yesterday, Lieutenant Governor, and I will tell you it was a clearly superior experience to what I was used to previously. So far easier, no zebras, everything went smooth as could be. So thank you for that. I've been at Microsoft for 14 years at this point in time. And when I joined, it was because I really wanted to inspire innovation with the people I work with. And the mission statement at Microsoft is simple. It's to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. When I think of events like the HACC, it's all about empowerment. And when I think about in 2 months, you guys are building and developing interesting solutions that can make an impact, it's really cool. I've got a 13-year-old daughter at home and an 8-year-old son, and I talk to them a lot about where should your career go and what's important to you. And we were actually talking about this at dinner last night, and with AI and with all the disruption that's going on, where are the resilient industries? What are the roles that we ought to be targeting? And as a parent, where should I be steering my kids to have success and find success? And one of the things that dawned on me is there will always be a need for people who are problem solvers. There will always be a need for people who are innovators. There will always be a need for people who know how to take technology and apply it. And if I look at this group here of creators, of builders, of individuals coding, however you choose to do so, this is the next wave of innovation and problem solvers. And it's events like this that nurture building a community to solve problems at scale. And so this is really fundamentally at the core of it, why Microsoft chooses to participate in the HACC and events like this is because we firmly believe that without events like this, we're not achieving everything that we can. And so I would just humbly say that we're super proud to be a part of this event. I cannot wait to see the innovation that you all have come up with. And I congratulate each one of you for being a part of this. When I hear the numbers of how many teams originally signed on, you're the best of those teams. You should all take an extreme amount of pride in that. And for that, mahalo, thank you so much.
We appreciate your support. All right, guys, how you feeling? You nervous? How many of you guys is nervous? How many of you are ready to go? Just one. You go first. Just come up here right now. No, you guys will be fine. You guys are bright young minds. But I would like to introduce you folks to the people who will be judging you. Please hold your applause to the end. Be sure to clap loud for them at the very end so they give you higher scores. Christine Sakula, CIO, Office Enterprise Technology Services. Rick Joyner, West Region Azure Sales Director for Microsoft. Daniel Yu, Head of Customer Engineering at Google Public Sector. Nicole Kakal, Executive Director at True, and Bert Lum, Broadband Coordinator for the Hawaii Broadband Office. Let's give our judges a Now, technical judging began on November 17th, and we would like to introduce you to the 5 individuals who had the very difficult task of evaluating your solutions, and we thank them for their time and the expertise. George Lee, HACC Tech Coordinator. Brent Jones, Director, App Innovator for Microsoft State and Local Government. Kyle Mulady, call me if I said that wrong, Software Developer, Hawaii Data Collaborative. Kai Pham, Account Executive, Data House Consulting. Josie Sipola, Senior IT Enterprise Architect for ETS. And I knew I was going to mess up that name. Banu Tanaka, Managing Partner for Terranox. Let's give all of our technical judges a round of applause. This time, we would like to call up to the stage Ms. Thelma Elaine, HACC sponsor and participant chair, to explain.
Sorry, I've been going a little crazy, so you'll have to forgive me, getting a little emotional because this is the 10th year. I've been doing this for a long time. I have loved it, and Okay, we'll stop there. I do want to apologize, somehow the wrong slide deck got up there, so Bonner didn't, picture wasn't up there. I have the right deck, when I wrote this somewhere, it will be there, so, okay. So real quick, there are 6 categories for technical scoring: technical implementation, functional evaluation video, working prototype, innovation and excellence, user experience, and security and privacy. You had to get a score of 0 to 5 in each of those categories, so a total of 30 points. And you were judged by 2 judges. Technical implementation was how did the team utilize the tools that were available to them. The functional video was to show how well their solution worked. There had to be a deployed solution, so something that was actually accessible to the judges to try and play with. Innovation excellence, what did they do differently? User experience, did it make sense to the user? Was it intuitive? Was it easy? And security and privacy is a question. We didn't expect anybody to be able to implement security and privacy in the 4 weeks code, but we wanted you to be thinking about it because this is so important today, tomorrow, going forward. The hackers are always 5 minutes ahead of us, so we've got to keep trying to keep up and keep catching up. Then the next slide will be what the judges here will be judging you on today. There are 4 categories, 5 points again each maximum, so 20 points each. So you get a total score of 100 if you were to get a perfect score from every judge. It won't happen, let me assure you. And then that is divided up. Here it's the requirements. Now, these judges are judging you as an end user. Would your solution meet what they felt the requirements were for the challenge? Originality design, again, this is innovation. Did you do something different with your coding? Because everybody has the same tools. How did you use them a little differently? How did you use them so it made it a little bit easier to solve the problem? Utility and impact, again, this is a similar area. How did you make it easy for the end user to use your tool and to add information to it or get information out of it? Presentation delivery, that's what today is all about. How are you delivering your ideas? How are you delivering? And this is really important because somewhere down the road, every job that you have, unless you are in a lab somewhere and never talk to another human being, you're still going to be talking to your coworkers. You're going to have to present your ideas and deliver solutions to somebody, whether it's your boss or a customer. So here's an opportunity to learn how to do this and to do it well. And that's one of the most important parts to me and why I, emphasize this for you guys today. Now, I think there's another slide. No. Yeah. No. Okay. So just so you know, what happened is you had 2 judges. So you had a total of potentially 60 points. Those are divided up and you get a percentage. Today you get out of 100, that's divided up and you get a percentage. We add those 2 percentages together, divide by 2, and the person with the highest score in each of the different categories, college, high school, and professional, that one's first prize, and then obviously second and third. That is how we do it today. If we do have a tie, the judges will help me do it. First time ever, we had a tie last year, and we worked it out really smoothly. We'll do it again today, and then at the end, we'll be giving you out. Well, we won't give you money today, but we'll give you this cool stuff. We'll give you big check. We'll be taking pictures of you in or with a big check. So, thank you for coming. Have fun. Enjoy. Now you know what time it is. I just want to take a quick pause and thank Thelma Elaine for all the work that she has done over the last 10 years. And so I know that you're very, very excited to start, and we want to get going to the presentation. But the fact that Thelma Elaine has been participating with the HACC for 10 years since the inception is really a testament to the spirit of the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge and why it's so important for our community to help state government solve problems.
And so please join me again. I read the script, and so of course it's Thelma's character to not include herself at all in the script, and yet she's the one behind the scenes making this happen, working with her sponsors and working with the teams that culminates in today at the University of Hawaii West Oahu. So please join me in thanking Thelma Lane.
Yes, mahalo kamo for all of your amazing work over the years. Thank you so much. Now, we are one step closer to the presentation and judging. And in addition to those amazing cash prizes up for grabs, there's also a separate category, and that is the People's Choice Awards. You will have the opportunity to cast your vote for your favorite presentation after everyone has presented. We will be providing a poll to tally your votes after everyone has gone, and the team with the most votes will be awarded a $25 Amazon gift card for each team member. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to start the presentations. I believe we have the order up here on screen. Let's begin the competition with the high school teams. Up first is Innovate 2.0. And when you folks come up to the podium, you can either use the wireless microphone or the microphone there, whatever you feel most comfortable with.
Aloha. As far as you know, I'm Chelsea Dell, and I participated in the Hawaii Annual HACC, Coding Challenge last year, and I learned a lot from this experience. And I personally chose the Department of Human Resources Development with the process of screening out and using artificial intelligence, like how the talkers in the start talk about using AI to revolutionize the industry. And this means that this problem of crisis mostly revolves in lots of applicants that are mostly qualified being on the waitlisted or wait a couple of months before they get a response. And this is a problem because 5,500 applications are in the backlog, and manual scoring of how this applicant is qualified or not takes up tons of time, around 5 minutes to around 10 hours. And these critical occupations like nurses, office learners, and healthcare occupations stay vacant. And that's why that's why my solution entails with uploading a resume and extracting the data with parsing, using a Hugging Face model that I use called Illuminate, which uses context based on the resume itself, and text MQs and the qualifications that the resume has, and it scores it based on how qualified they are. And in order for AI to not be pulling control and to be more transparent, the reviewer goes into the dashboard and looks at the AI's confidence level to see, and the interviewer can accept or deny a request, and also look into it more rather than having a streamlined process of AI automatically accepting or declining it. Why this is innovative? I follow the requirements of HAR Chapter 76 with personal identifiable information being non-visible towards AI, and also making it semantic, choosing a model that uses context. For example, different types of wordings used, like farm credit analysis matches ag loan. And to protect, I use React, Shell, and CSS, but also use backend for the work. SQL and the LLM for context. For future predictions, I ran 10 resume uploads and got a basis of around 88 to 80% accuracy. And I plan to, for future use, to reduce snippets. So this is the dashboard so far. You can see my previous attempts at training the model. Uploading it. And then choosing the position. I have used one so far.
Time.
Okay, questions?
Hold on, it's analyzing.
I have a question. Thank you. And you're first up, so thank you. So please give her a round of applause. So if you had more time, what's a highlight that you would like to share that you didn't have a chance to share today so far?
So we have the analytics. After this is done analyzing, it usually takes around 1 minute to 2 minutes analyzing each resume because it specifically points out and scores it based on the qualifications it has. It also has a detailed analysis towards it. My analytics has different applicants and creates a graph based on the AI competence and also how if they're qualified or not. So here it gives out an AI reasoning. And then it also points out if it needs review and if the AI competence level is low. So so you can manually review the resume, and then accept or deny the request. And it gives out more information towards their skills and specific sections about their resume and their education. I haven't, yeah. For the analytics, you would need to add more applicants and resumes, but for the uploading, I mostly have it in PDF. I want to expand it to different types of file formats.
That looks like a great solution here. So I have two questions for you. One is, if you take this application to the department, if you have enough time, what additional features or things you want to put in there to close that gap so that can be people like using it as a really like production application?
I would like to further increase the security and use, I guess, more transparency within the using the AI. For my personal opinion, in regards of using AI to screen personal information, I would want as the end user to have their privacy and data not collected or used in any security breach, and I would try to point that out as my highest priority.
That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Our first presenter of the day. Our next team. Sure.
As the presenter, please watch the timer, because you missed the time because you were looking the wrong way. So I'm just gonna, because you're the first one, yeah. So just make sure you pay attention to the sheets and know that it's time to move to your demo. Don't move this out. And pay attention, and then he's gonna say time at 4 minutes. I'm gonna repeat this because it bears repeating. And then you only have 2 minutes, and so you gotta stop in the 2 minutes. Okay.
Yes, so once again, to recap, 2-minute presentation, 2 minutes live demonstration, and your hard stop is at 4 minutes, and that leaves 2 minutes for the judges to ask you questions. And with that, let's move on to our next group. How do you pronounce your name, your team name? Is it short for anything? Oh, okay, so this is an acronym for all of their names, MAKFR, but all we know him as Kyle with the zebra. I think we should change her name to Team Zebra today.
Get plugged in. While they're rearranging, get plugged in.
Hello, my name is Kyle, and I'm your lead back-end developer. Hi, I'm Angelina. I'm one of the front-end design. I'm Matthew.
My name is Louis. I'm also a developer.
I'm Ryan, and I'm a developer. And we are doing the AI, the AI screen.
So today, the Employment Security Department deals with a major backlogging issue. Right now, there could be potentially around 5,500 applications on a waiting list to be reviewed. This is inefficient and slows down the hiring process. To solve this, we set out to make an AI-driven model tasked with aiding the employers by distinguishing qualified candidates along with a detailed explanation behind the decision.
Our solution has key features such as an integrated AI system with Gemini that can rapidly identify qualified candidates and accelerate the hiring process. There's also minimal human intervention so that as a final decision is still by the human reviewers, our AI system is still in place to help aid the reviewing process.
As for some benefits of an AI-driven solution, there's less time spent reviewing each application, fewer staff hours spent on repetitive tasks, and an increase in qualified candidates at all times.
As for the languages and tools used, two of the most significant ones are Gemini and Firebase. Some improvements we could make with our app next time would be to implement full integration with the HRD, expand capabilities with job listings, enhance security, and add in a login. Moving on to the demo. So first of all, we have the job listings page, which has all the information about the job and minimum qualifications of certain jobs. And if you hit apply, you'll be redirected to an application. Just an example of what an application just looks like, especially with my background. Let's say I just added Alexander. Why am I interested in this job? Because I am. Describe my relevant experience. I have leadership experience. What unique skills do I have? I program. Unrelated, and you can also upload your application. For now, I'm just going to upload my own and spin application. That then goes on to the main reviewer dashboard. So since AI isn't the final reviewer, any reviews will be over here. As you can see, you can tell if a candidate has been qualified or needs human review or is not qualified at all. So just looking at my example that I just pushed out. You can see the reason why I'm not qualified for applying for this certain job as the supplemental questions and my resume. That's when a reviewer can come in and make their final decision whether they're qualified, not qualified, and you can input their reviewer ID and files. Thank you for listening.
So great job, team. And I'm just curious, as you guys were going through this, were there any points in time where you felt like you had to stop and change course, or was there any specific challenge that you guys had to overcome throughout the development of this application?
I think some obstacles that would make us work into a different area would be choosing the type of like generating AI, because we were supposed to use a like custom model, but for timing reasons we couldn't, so we decided with more like Gemini, just using Gemini.
Just curious, how many resumes did you use to test the model?
For us, we have tested around like 10 resumes and what we were given, and we prompted the AI to look at the job minimum requirements, and we base it off that portion.
Awesome, great job, team. My quick question is, I know you mentioned that there is minimal human intervention in the solution, but how do you mitigate against bias that might creep in training data?
For mitigating bias within training data, you could possibly use a much more custom model, because again, we're using Gemini, so a custom model that uses much more information and uses off that information to then
Get time.
FR, also known as Kyle with a zebra. We welcome to the podium our next group, MHS.
Hola. I'll be presenting Vendor ETS. My name is Jacob Maruche, and our base model is analyze, optimize, and elevate. Major problems we faced this year with our project was readability. There was a huge lack of standardization between each project's the Hawaii Department reports. Reports are difficult to read for both not only the public but government workers. Inconsistencies could be seen in the lack of structure of these forms. It was hard to compare forms with one another with different information at different places. Our unique approach to solve this problem was, user efficiency. We implemented a search engine with simplistic search results and AI summarization for each individual report for a quicker read. And we categorized reports to help traverse individual reports for users. We also created vendor restrictions. This let vendors to know exactly when and where to put data throughout reports. And it shortened the time that vendors took to fill out in each individual report. We also did levels of administration. We did a checks and balance system with vendors and administrators, and it requires both of them to verify a report before posting it. And also, both accounts have access to the unique tools that they need to solve their problems. Positive changes to bring about the public. This would increase public support and trust. It would also increase public interest in each individual project. It will create more of a transparency between the Hawaii government and the citizens that like to read or just know about the state. It would also reduce costs, but also raising efficiency, less downtime when it comes to seeing a report is done or not. Thank you for your attention. Now it's time for the demo.
So this is our homepage, and on the homepage, without even signing in, users have the ability to view all the reports or follow the suggested search option in the text box, or otherwise they could search for something specific like the name or department of the project. And this directs them to the search results page, which has filters or sorting, and when they click on the project, it directs them to, by default, to the most recent monthly report of this project, though there is a drop-down to access older monthly reports. And at the very top, there's an AI-generated summary with Gemini. And throughout the report, there are both graphical and textual representations of information that is both dynamic based on each monthly report update. And at the very top, there's an export. So it can be exported as a PDF. And how these reports are generated are through the vendor account, which is primarily for submitting reports. On our vendor account, it has notifications and a new view called Editor, in which vendors have the ability to create a new project from scratch, or they can create a new monthly report in an existing project, which is auto-filled with the most recent monthly report information. And the way this is approved is on the admin account, which has a list of all the reports on the review page with filters for status of approved, denied, or pending, and they can be approved with a button which has a signature or an upload signature on the pop-up. And the status can be changed at any time. And finally, on our homepage, there is an archive report button, which takes back to the old ETS website just to keep the old records available. And just to go over how our work is divided, we are an 8-person team, but 7 out of 8 of us are high school seniors. So we've been stressed with like college apps and everything. So how we did it was just dividing it up by what works for our schedules as well as our capabilities, because we all have different experience levels. Thank you.
Sign.
Thank you very much. And I'm glad that 3 of the 9 of you made it here to join us today, even how busy you are. If you had more time to develop the solution more, what would you feel like you need, or what kind of recommendations would you have for the state?
So
We have like a model of some features we're trying to develop and we didn't have enough for. This is like, you want to explain?
So we actually have a prototype of this on a local account. It has our export, but with the cover page, with the signature from the approval from the admin, as well as the full report information. And we have it working. We just through the linter, it wouldn't merge, and so we couldn't implement that.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
So I'm curious, just was there anything eye-opening as you dug into the problem? You know, every great app starts with a good problem statement. What did you guys learn?
We learned how important, especially for our team, how important it is to have standardization. We struggled a lot in the beginning with everyone's schedules and just not having a way to call things because we don't know what everyone is doing and everyone has their own coding style. And so when we reapproached this and replanned, we were able to standardize how we did our backend, and that made UI and everything easier.
Additionally, like the communication is another thing that I think we struggled with because we all learned coding independently. And I thought it was kind of a challenge working together to like bring all of our code to work.
Quick question, as an end user, how did you test whether your end user sort of result was acceptable to the citizen?
Well, we tested it with different UX people, so we got a lot of people to run through it without us explaining anything, and they gave us feedback.
All right.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Once again, that was team MHS. I believe representing Yunamani, right? Congratulations in the house. Our next team, please welcome up the team name known as Kimchi Bowl Noodles.
Okay, so welcome to our presentation. We chose the challenge AI powered language navigator first because we have a lot of people here who have a big who are impacted by the speech system. We are the team 51 Noodles. I am Jared. I am the lead developer.
I'm George, I'm the tech writer. I am Marvin, I'm one of the app developers. And I'm the the AI agent was able to accurately respond with prompts with accurate information and appropriate sources. Another impact will be the reduction of numbers the specialties, HR specialties will have, and the position staff satisfaction and feedback following the AI engagement.
Our requirements was cybersecurity should not be present in ours and it should be straightforward to maintain, update, and renew for the technical perspective. Also, it shouldn't be cost prohibitive, so you can run it, maintain it, and renew it. Also, must be powered by AI and also integrated with Microsoft 365. Now to start the demo. So this is where we're at. The UI is pretty simple. You can set your question right here. Then you press ask. The AI scans the files. It checks for any relevant information and brings it. While it's analyzing, there is the AI does not give you the information you want. There is a block, but it's where you get contact information from the HR directory. The processing speed depends on the AI model you use as well as the Wi-Fi you have. So right now we do not have that much data in our document, so we're using a faster model with less quality. But if you're going to use multiple PDFs, you should probably use a more complicated model that takes longer to analyze. So right here, this is our answer, and then it provides us with the 5 sources that are used. They're all the same source right now because it's the data we have is just a sample. So if we had more time, we'll probably be trying to do a message history to save the previous messages and then just style it so it's like an actual conversation between the AI and you. And we also want to make it easier for the person using the app to integrate it into Microsoft 365. So that means like make the team manifest, so the app is able to be reached from HACC. So thank you for listening.
Yeah, also jump in. I'm just curious about when you develop the solution, how much of the vibe coding solution you guys have used? Do you use the vibe coding at all?
We didn't do that much for this, so we just like put in Python, we did just, and then we just put all the document inside the folder and created it.
Just kind of curious on the problem statement itself that you guys were digging in to solve here. Was there anything that was surprising to you as you guys tried to build the solution?
It was a little bit hard for us to find the AI model that we wanted to use because we did not have much AI experience in AI prior to this, so we were kind of out of comfort zone. But of course, we had to do something because we need to learn this alert back.
Great job. So given the challenge requirements that you've listed, I'm just curious to see, did you find it easier or more difficult to design your solution given these constraints?
It was definitely more difficult given the time constraints and the experience constraints. But we were able to do it because we didn't take so much time to do it in general. It was just like how we were gonna figure out how to do it in the first place. The app itself did not take that amount of time.
So if we go through the stage chat policies for you each, have you thought about how do you eliminate some of those hallucinations if you're not getting the right information from the AI?
I think that depends on the spectrum model you use. Yeah, of course, you can use a better quality AI that has less hallucination, but it'll take more time to process. So depending on how much complicated data you have put into the AI, you might want to use a better AI to solve the hallucinations.
Thank you.
Once again, Team Kimchi Bowl Noodles. Moving on to our next presenters, please welcome the team known as Cotton Bites.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cotton Rodriguez. I am a current student at Powell High School. And the challenge I'm solving today is the UH Pathfinder. So what is the problem? Is that people can waste time and money when they switch majors. A source says they can spend up to $22,000 more in tuition because they decide to switch the major. Students might not even enjoy the major to begin with and cannot switch out of it because it's too expensive. And why should you care? It's because these college students are shaping and creating these next chapters. So my app solves all of this because it helps students make smart and confident decisions on a degree by always outputting its occupation, its current, its corresponding degree, and its courses based on the answers the user gave to the open-ended questions. It gives a snapshot of what they're signing up for before they actually sign up and make it permanent. And it will lead to the best fit major, lead to a best fit job, and lead to more people loving their job. So for my demo, for example, for my hobbies and interests, you could say you love to surf and fish and go diving. For my skills, you could say you're very good at swimming and fine motor. Some topics or subjects that could interest me would be fishes and how marine ecosystems survive or thrive. And in my ideal working day, could be spending time in the ocean observing fishes. So I compile all of these answers and I'll output one single occupation. So based on the answers I given, I should become a marine biologist. And in the degree I should study it. So it's Bachelor's of Art in Marine Biology. You could then explore this degree and see all the different courses you have to take to get this degree. So for example, for every single semester, you have to do biology, chemistry. Going back to the main screen, you can also enter a degree you want to study, for example, cinematic arts. It'll not only give you the degree, but also tell you what you should become, which would be a digital media specialist. And then again, you can explore this degree even more, see the different courses you have to take for each semester. You could also enter an occupation. For example, you want to be a civil engineer, but you don't know what to study in, or decide AI helps with it. So if I want to become a civil engineer, based on this AI, the degree I should study in. Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. And then you could explore the degree again, see the total credits and the campus you would be at, and the different courses you have to take. So going back to my presentation, Some stretch goals I wish to implement if I had more time, but to make this a national tool and not just for UH employee or university employee, because I really want this impact to be wherever you are. I also want to include after college advice because, for example, to become a doctor, you're not only going to college, you have to do pre-med and stuff like that. And also to include trade schools because not everyone would want a degree and not everyone might not realize they need a degree to become like a construction worker or something. Here are the sources I use, and thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions.
Thank you. I am just amazed at all of the presentations that have happened so far. And I have kids that are seniors in high school, so this is something they actually need right now. And so I guess one of the questions that I have for you, and great job, is have you the database that you're using, was it only a subset of the majors, or were all of the degrees kind of used plugged into it? Or were you only given information for marine biology, for example, and things like that? Or
So I asked all of the majors from only the UH Manila because that's the only database in JSON.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, this is awesome. I wish I had that when I was in college. So one thing, maybe another challenge for you is if I'm a freshman in college, I love to like schedule and declare my major and we schedule all my classes for the next 4 years.
Thanks for talking slowly. Yeah, so as a Gen Zer, what is I need to figure out like what do you mean by fine motor?
Motor skills. Motor skills. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, thanks. I thought that was a 67.
Good job.
Right. Mahalo to all of our high school teams and their advisors. Let's give that category a round of applause. A really fun job today, not only putting in these scores, but I mean, one after the other is just amazing, amazing presentations. Hopefully you folks are able to keep up because we are moving into our next division. This is the professional category. And first up under the professional teams, we welcome to the podium, Team Dark Mode.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Micah, and I'm from Team Darkhold, and today I'm going to do a quick demo of my application HACC screen. This is for the DHRD applicant screener challenge. And the main challenge is that the DHRD is facing a backlog of over 5,500 unreviewed applications. And the current process relies on manual cross-referencing between resumes to assess the minimum qualifications. And this can delay hiring for critical stage positions. So for the challenge requirements, the DHRD required that the application can identify qualified candidates. And my solution was to build a scoring engine. And this scoring engine will take the resume and take the minimum requirements and do the cross-referencing for you. The second is transparency, because AI can obviously hallucinate and make some mistakes. So I use like evidence extraction and prompt engineering so that the AI can give evidence as to why that status was given. And third, obviously, is to reduce the workload. We have 5,500 applicants in the backlog. So to reduce workload, I use a priority ranking system where through every scored applicant, it will organize it by the most highly qualified candidates so that you are always reviewing high quality candidates. You better find a match for your company. And lastly, accuracy. Again, AI can always make mistakes. So I've implemented human in the loop in every step. So for example, let's say that AI has been wrong with a qualification for experience with TypeScript. A company user could go ahead and change the qualification status and also update the notes. And with that, we can go to a quick demo. So here's the draw application page. This is a company page. Obviously, this form, like ingesting data into the system is a bottleneck. So I can use Fill with AI to go ahead and upload the document, and we will do a backend engineer. So again, yeah, this form here can be kind of daunting, especially when you try to ingest data into the system. That can take 30 minutes on its own, especially when the requirements are quite complicated. That form will take a long time to fill out. So as this is loading, you wait, it should take a few seconds. It's doing a lot of work in the back end, which saves us a lot of time as well. So now that it has parsed through all the information, you can see that it generated title, company, location. And I think I've this one before, so I'll go ahead and just mark that with 2. It has parsed through all the minimum qualifications, all the preferred qualifications, which obviously you can update in every step. Salary minimum, salary maximum, and expiration date. So I'll go ahead and publish the stuff. And then as a user, so you can log in as an applicant, I'll refresh this and search for that position here. So I think that was senior backend engineer 2. We'll go ahead and click apply. I'll use one of my old resumes, attach our optional cover letter, and submit the application. When you go back to the company page, you can see an applications page here. The application was submitted. It's under review currently. So right now, the applicant doesn't have any evaluation. The company can go ahead and run the screen. You can see the user's application here. And while this is going, I guess we can show a little bit about this page here. It shows the job description, a screening results, which hasn't been done yet, but also shows all of the minimum qualifications and the preferred qualifications, which can be manually edited, just in case the AI makes mistakes. I tried to do this alone, like by myself, and it's maybe 45 minutes just to do cross referencing, and it wasn't even as good as the AI. So now that it's done, that was like roughly 20 seconds. It has filled in all of the minimum qualifications and the preferred qualifications. Okay, thank you. Any questions?
So first and foremost, great job walking us through it. Just curious, if given more time, where would this go next in your point of view?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think my priority is security and privacy. I wanted to implement a redaction system to take out personal information from the resumes because that's not important to getting a job. Doesn't like correlate with the requirements at all. So I would go and do some pattern matching to remove names from addresses, phone numbers, and get that information out before it goes into the AI system. That's for bias detection and can actually improve the results as well. One more thing, the resumes that are stored, right now they aren't encrypted. So I'll probably encrypt that before storing into the database just for privacy reasons.
So the demo you showed is loading one application inside one at a time. Have you thought about for all those thousands of backlogs? Is there any batch job you can just handle all at once?
Yeah, so since I'm using AI, this whole process is asynchronous and you can go back to all 5,500 at once. Obviously, you're still going to be human review. It'll do the initial screening, so then humans will go ahead and evaluate that. That part we can't really condense that time because humans need to be involved in the process, and my AI doesn't do any executive action for who's qualified or not. So it was only pre-processed, but you can do the initial full processing. It's the same amount of time as it takes to do one.
Great job. So I was curious about your process. So did you prioritize building a solution first for the users, specifically the person that's reviewing these applications, or primarily for the beneficiary, meaning the people that are uploading their resumes?
I try to focus on both because they're both important and they're both involved in the process. But so you can see that I have the page for like creating a job. Or actually, it's on this page here. So creating a job, I try to streamline the process of ingesting data into the system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back to the podium, please welcome Team Stack Attack.
So we're team Stacked Up, and I'm Z. I'm William. And we chose to use the UH chatbot. So for the challenge, it is to provide a chatbot that can relay relevant information for anyone looking for HR information, such as the bargaining agreement. We wanted to reduce the time people had to spend searching through the HR public directories. And the other challenge was to have a secure and mitigate misguidance through the chatbot's responses, and to have it be scalable, and low cost for the university.
Our approach involves having a two-step indexing process. The first step being to take apart the key audience, unit number, and the effective length of the bargaining agreement. The second step is just to chunk and embed each page and each of the individual bargaining agreements. These will be used to perform cosine similarity searches during our regular process. For security, we use full authentication, and then our callback returns an in-house creative key token that we use to authenticate every single API route within our packets. We also track user statistics, token usage, common queries, as well as political site usage. And each user is also regulated to avoid overspending on queries. For the benefits, our LLM is designed to be accurate as possible. It only responds to the information provided to it based on the bargaining agreement documents. It's supposed to be easy of use. Indexing is easy, it's simple, and the LLM only responds to what you got. And it's using cheap embedding models. The GPT models are at like 3 to 60 cents input and output tokens per million tokens. And with very limited each user, you can kind of control how much you're spending.
So I designed the front end, and for the front end, to the left, or should we, to the left for you guys, is the Figma design for it. We didn't get to implementing it entirely, and to the right is the color palette. I use HACC for the framework and use React and Tailwind. For future improvements, we are looking towards the back end, directly being able to redirect people to the HR representative that they need, to have an admin page for correcting LLM mistakes and seeing statistics, and to integrate with cloud storage. And our front end improvements is implementing the Power Palette, having more efficient rendering of the layout, automatic scrolling, and implementing quick action buttons and search functionality. All right, now we're going to do the demo. So for the demo, first as you log into a Google account, this way you can actually track like the email and whoever it is. And let's say, for example, you're like a registered nurse for the school. And then let's say you want to know, let's say you have an immediate family.
Thank you so much. We'll move on now to questions. The buzzer didn't go off.
What was the next thing you were going to show us, or what would you want us to know that you would have shown us?
So the LLM response would include the exact article section of the article or of the bargaining agreement, as well as the target audience for the bargaining agreement, as well as the response, summarized response based on the information provided to it. If the information was inaccurate, it would simply reject and say that it cannot answer, and would try to redirect you to your responsible HR specialist. More importantly, it displays, what target audience is for the response in order to, just in case there's kind of wrong information, the user will, clearly know that this isn't specified for them.
I just have to ask, so why do you have to make the distinction between blue collar worker and white collar worker? What is the thought process behind that?
So we did run out of time for this feature. We wanted to include quick action buttons. So this would indicate to the LLM like, hey, I'm this type of user, or I'm searching for these type of queries. This will help with backend database searches. So each bargaining agreement has a certain target audience. This will help quickly sort through and eliminate potential search options by the LLM. So it would only search for bargaining agreements pertaining to a specific type of work. These buttons would hopefully be quick actions to eliminate the elimination process in the back.
Thank you very much.
That's that. Up next, we welcome Team Interstellar.
Is there a hand up?
We can use this one.
Good morning, everybody, again. My name is Micah, and this time I'm doing the UH Pathfinder Challenge, and I'm going to showcase my application Holiday app. So according to a ZipRecruiter survey, around 44% of all current job seekers with college degrees regret their college major choice. With thousands of UH pathways and certificates, I can't really blame them. There's so much information out there, and we somehow seem to not have enough in our disposal, right? So many incoming students feel overwhelmed with the classes that they have to take and the different degrees that they can pursue. So for the challenge requirements, the main challenge was to bridge current skills to a dream career and to help future students discover the best UH pathway to their dream career using their interests, skills, and experiences. And our application provides a mapping of all the possible UH pathways to create a visually engaging AI assistant with an intuitive user experience. Our application goes beyond just a traditional chatbot. With easy customization in natural language, users can tell our AI assistant their interests, career goals, current skills, personal resumes, transcripts, and other personal files to help them create a more seamless experience. And for the output, you are still in control. The AI can make mistakes. This is an assistant. This will not tell you which career to take. It will help you find the right path. There, actually, go back one, please. There's also a PDF export, so you can bring this to a college counselor, high school counselor, and you can do more one-on-one sessions to refine this process. So all AI guides you towards courses that lead to more fulfilling careers that best suit your interests. And with that said, we can go to a quick demo. So I just want to showcase how fast it is to use the application. If you just describe your goals here, something really simple like I want to keep the ocean clean, we can click Lodge on there. And I'll try to explain what's going on. It's searching through thousands of UH pathways. Right now, it's probably searching through thousands of courses around there at the time. So 30,000 courses it's going through, and it's also doing a summary. So I think it should be done pretty soon, but it's doing all of that work in the back end. So within a few seconds, you can see that if you scroll down here, we have a quick summary. So it says these courses line up nicely with your desire to keep the ocean clean because they build the scientific foundation for foundation you need to understand how ocean systems work. And you can see there's also similar pathways just because, the marine biology pathway may not be for you. So the AI has recommended around 10 other pathways for you to choose from. We can go ahead and click the view pathways in full screen, and you can see we have an overview page, again with the summary and all the different semesters with different courses that were chosen. So if you look through some of these courses, let's go to the next one. One more over, you can see that there's alternatives available just in case that course does not suit your needs. So you can go ahead and if Ocean 105 is in the right course for you, you can go ahead and change it out for like sustainability 115. And also if we go back to the main page, we can export this plan into a PDF. And we have a PDF plan of this UH pathway, which you can again bring to your college counselor or high school counselor. So I guess we have about 30 seconds left. If I scroll up here, I just want to also talk about some of the other elements. We do have a quick search, so you can do a keyword search, or we also have a comprehensive search, such as you can say like I like the ocean, and it will find pathways for you. Just in case it didn't recommend the ones that best suit your interest, you can always do a quick search.
Fine.
Thank you.
And also jump again. That's exactly totally for the 4-year planning for me. I know most of the freshmen and the second year in college, people change their mind, right? They're thinking about something and then all of a sudden after 2 years, marine biology is not really the thing that I want to do. So is there any thoughts about your design that if I change my mind in the 3rd year and there's a course correction or make adjustment on what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, that is a really good feature to add. Right now, we don't have support for the course changes, but if we can integrate with the UH system and get some of that course information out, we could definitely implement a course change plan. So we can analyze the requirements that you have already fulfilled and the easiest course to your dream career.
Thank you, great presentation. If you had more time, aside from what you just shared, is there anything else that you would have liked to do or that's an opportunity for enhancement that if you were given more time that you would like to pursue?
Well, I guess the first goal would be to integrate the UH system because that's where all the data resides. We have updated course information. We don't have to keep reprocessing all the data. I guess on the front end side, there's no use login because we try to do this a really seamless process. Login, type in your goals, you get a plan in like 30 seconds. But I think there are some benefits to having a login system, maybe through UH to get some of that data as well.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Once again, that was Team Interstellar, and coming up next, rounding out this professional division, please welcome Team Raju Gopal.
I also had the same challenge. I had a different approach, so they're kind of complementary. So you kind of heard the problem statement already. The main problem I think I tackled on a different sort of angle is that there are 300 different programs within the UH system across all of them. And so there's a bit of a data disconnect. There's lots of information from ONET, from the government, from Department of Labor, also all of the great resources that we've already that the Department of Education has already sort of provided, including like career experts and their expertise. So how many of you actually are high school seniors or have high school seniors? Are parents of high school seniors? Or even career transitioners? It's very difficult to navigate this. So the approach was that we're taking research-backed methods for determining career paths. So there's the interest level, which is the HACC quiz. And then what we do is we'll do semantic program linking, which is actually on the back end, it's kind of static. That links the programs in the state of Hawaii to those particular jobs. that are, there's thousands of them. And so then they do an interactive process to sort of refine that. So I'm gonna just skip this slide because we can kind of go over the next steps after. And actually, let's skip this too, so we'll get right to the demo. So here we go, landing page. We're gonna start the assessment. So you can either do it as a high school student or a returning professional. The high school student, they actually have questions tailored to them because the research-based things are really a lot more workforce-based. So they choose all of their sort of different interest tasks, and it'll assess that based on that criteria, which is pretty standard. And then when they complete it, they can edit it, obviously, and then it gives them an interest profile. So they have realistic, investigative, artistic, all the different categories. And then, you know, based on that combination, you can read more about it. And then you can check, so there's two elements, right? So, interest and then skills experience. So they check which ones they've done in the past. And so this was adapted for high school level competencies. And so they choose at least 3 that can add more for more refinement. And then it gives them some insights right off the bat. So you have high value matches which match their interests to their skills. And those are things that it's great they already have. And here are some skills to develop that are more related to their interests. And actually there's usually a third section here, but I have it on my quiz results, that has to do with skills that kind of aren't matched to your interests and maybe exploring that further. So then from there, it gives you a match of all the different occupations and a percentage score of confidence of how well it matches your skills and interests. And from there, you can click on it and it'll have the video from actually, I think it's Career One Stop on the profession itself. You can't hear it right now, but it does have sound. And it has some information about that job and then provides, you know, some of the programs that actually have to do with that. So there's lots of different programs here, community colleges. Some of them are not totally related, but related to their interests. So carpentry, media and entertainment. So this is for graphic and apparel makers. And you have all of the different community colleges. You go to the website and learn more about it. Sorry. And then for each of these different levels, you have like different programs. There's also another category for training certificate programs, but there aren't as many of those in the database. Yep, that's.
So I'll say I love the assessment-based approach on the front end, but I'm just curious, did you come up with that or did you source that externally? Or?
Yeah, I did a lot of research up front, and so there's a database called ONET, and I found lots of, especially the Department of Education, that use this for one of their tools. And it's a pretty simple thing, but it's research backed. So I didn't come up with it on my own. You could call it API, but the logic is really simple, so it's static.
So one of your interest tabs, how did you come up with those? And if something didn't appear that somebody wanted to add, could they add that in?
Not yet, but that would be a feature that could be added. In fact, that's like part of the thing. But first, we want to get it a lot more deterministic, so you can choose the skills that are akin to all the ones that are listed in that same kind of assessment framework.
Great job. So in one of your earlier slides, it mentioned that one of the personas that are affected are working professionals as well. Have you thought about integrating graduate courses as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. As you were working through and developing the solution, were there any revelations and surprises to you, even for yourself personally, as you were able to just put in so much data, you know, from all over and see the results through the tools?
Yeah, if you have a minute, I have a lot. So the biggest challenge I think up front was assessing like the state of the art, like what are the, you know, what's out there already. And there's lots of different disparate data sources. And so kind of digesting all of that is a little difficult. So I had web scrapers that are scraping the ones that I thought were most relevant. And it's a little bit like it's not completely structured, right? So that's where a little bit of the like AI came in, right? I had vector embeddings, which are all static, like they weren't making calls out to anything. We kind of did that program job mash for you. Thank you.
Both the high school and the professional divisions are complete. Let's give everybody another round of applause. Yeah, there you go. I was about to auction it off here. Raise some funds for the children. Here you go. All right, friends and family, with that, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. And then when we come back, we're going to be moving into our college teams. So you all may take a quick 5-minute break, and then let's aim to be back here right before 11:30 or so. All right, so we will see you in just a few minutes. Mahalo.
So if I just knew that something really happened, if something goes that wrong, without a progress bar, I just
It's okay, you're not the only one. Let's
And hold on to your mic when I present. Thanks.
Okay, everybody, settle down, settle down. We're gonna get started. Come on, we'll have time afterwards, chit chat. So let's keep moving. Thank you.
And we will resume with our college teams. All right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. At this time, we're going to be moving right on into our college teams. Please welcome first up the team known as Three Little Minions.
All right, good morning, everyone. Are you guys ready to see the minions in action? Awesome. We're focusing today on what truly matters, and that's helping our communities thrive by keeping local talent in Hawaii. We're the three little minions presenting Banana AI, a platform that screens, interviews, and tracks applicants. Now for this challenge, we're solving the DHRD's 5,000 applicant backlog. But this problem doesn't just stay in the government, it happens even in the commercial sectors. We were tasked to create a screener, and we went above and beyond to add an interviewer. Now, starting with the requirements, we tackled three critical components. First, we ensure you get the privacy you deserve by serving all our data strictly through encrypted routes. Second, we use machine learning and semantic search technology to provide normalized assessments. And finally, we ensure that our AI gives consistent scoring with distinct engaging avatars for each role. This is how it works. Applicants submit their materials, AI identifies minimum qualifications, sends the interviews, leaving HR to review and still make the final decision. Because unlike tools that rely on a single model, our product uses two powerful AIs in one pre-screening flow, a trainable screener and an AI interviewer working together to cut time, cost, and improve talent selection. And best of all, no more email chains back and forth. Instead, you have increased productivity, faster vacancy fills, and again, a product for both government and commercial sectors. Now, pay attention and let's hear it from Victor and Gabrielle.
Let's say I'm investigating a job, so I'm going to upload my resume here and let AI help me find jobs that align with my skills and experiences. And after applying, I'll receive this confirmation page, and if I meet the minimum requirements, then I'll be invited for an AI pre-screening interview. So this is how the interview looks like. Victor will then take the interview, and AI will assess his responses for the company to review later.
Aloha, welcome to your interview. Wait, hold on. Is this a HACC demo? Are there judges watching us right now? You know what? I'm already here, might as well do my job. Plus, I'm getting paid by the hour. Just kidding. I'm an AI. I don't get paid. Okay, let's do this properly. Welcome to your interview, Victor. This will be a relaxed conversation, so just be yourself. And judges, if you're watching, I promise I'm usually more professional than this. So, what brings you to Hawaii?
All right, so that's the end.
I love that energy.
Okay, so now let's switch gears. Now on the company side, say I'm an HR recruiter for the DHRD. I have a full dashboard of all the job listings, and to know if these roles were taken directly from the DHRD career site. And once you've created a job, you can create the AI interviewer. So this is essentially setting up the AI to conduct the pre-screening for you. You can choose an avatar, give a personality, and even add your own questions and requirements. Then for each listing, you can view all of the applicants who applied, whether or not they meet the minimum requirements, view a summary of their analysis, their full application details, and see the AI analysis highlighting their strengths, concerns, and weaknesses. You can also view their interview results, so their entire transcript of the AI interviewer, the requirements, a summary with notable highlights, their behavioral fit, and lastly, if they use AI to cheat. At the end, HR can then decide which applicant they want to move forward with, because we always give humans the final say.
All right, time. Sweet.
So like the AI recruiter, I love the energy. I'm curious, where do you guys see taking this next? Like if you had another 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever, what would you do next?
Totally. I mean, all our sponsors out here would definitely love beta testers, would definitely love to take it to the next level. Just having actual recruiters test it out. Although we have spoken to real recruiters to really dive into the solution and understand the problem, we would actually love to have beta testers.
Additionally, we would like to fine tune the AI avatar to embody a more local person so that it's more in tune with Hawaii and our community.
Really great job. I I think you kind of answered my question, but, when you start to, I guess, program the avatar, what is it that they're, what is their criteria based on? Because, in the case of, the way that you presented it now, she was very sort of informal and kind of entertaining, but there's more to it, because if somebody that's being interviewed is not talking to her, she has to have some kind of basis on which she's, generating questions and analyzing. So what is that?
Yeah, so when you create the job description, like we went over earlier, you can also create the interviewer. And this is where you can like kind of configure like what kind of personality you want it to take. So more of like a more professional personality or a more casual one. It's really up to you. And then the questions that I ask, also you are the one that's choosing it. And the requirements as well. So it's looking for what you're looking for.
Fine.
Oh, so good question again.
Yeah.
So this is all using AI to do all those computation. That's awesome. So I have a general question for you. Like, what about people that apply for jobs now they're using AI to generate their resumes? How do you fill those out? Have you thought about that?
I think that's exactly why it's a AI pipeline, right? You could submit a fake application saying you have 10 years of experience, but once you start talking to an AI, you can explain any concepts. That's where, the true screening, it really happens, right? Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Let's get team 3 with minions. Coming up next, we have team HRPU. Don't forget, everyone, there is a People's Choice Award at the end, so hopefully you're taking notes and memorizing everyone's presentations. We also have our IT specialist on hand for any troubleshooting if you folks need help.
Name is HRPU, and we did the DHRD AI screener. This is our team. We are from Hawaii Pacific University. I'm Matthew Holt. I did front-end development. I'm Joshua Leonard. I did back-end development. And other parts of our team are Skylar Verano and Caleb Young, who are today here in the audience. And today's agenda will be going over our challenge requirements, our unique approach, and going through our demo. For challenge requirements, we chose 3 ones to focus on. We chose improved efficiency for resume screening, human accurate AI, and standalone and secure system. Specifically for improved efficiency, minimum basic screening with the AI and with the goal to reduce application backlog by 75%. Human accurate AI, we had the threshold of an 85% accuracy in correlation to human review. And for standalone and secure, mostly focus on protecting applicant data and keeping data internal to the state. Our unique approach comes in 3 prongs in correspondence with our challenge requirements. We chose, starting with the standalone and secure system, we chose a closed source PyTorch model that we developed ourselves, which has 0 external dependencies, preventing data leaks, safeguards applicant data, and gives complete control to the state if they were to use this application. Our AI model does minimum screening based on qualification requirements and does more thorough examination if it can't reach a decision based on those specified requirements. And altogether, that goes to the 3rd prong,
with a standalone secure model and a human accurate model. It goes to the it is the AI screener that improves efficiency. Based on our own testing, our approach takes about 5 to 30 minutes per application. And the time given by the state was 30 minutes to 10 hours per application. So that was our efficiency improvement. And time for our demo.
And so for our demo, you can see here, we have an upload page where an applicant might upload the resume, or hopefully be able to integrate a video that the state originally wanted but not have access to. So you can fill out your first name, last name, your email address, and then select the job position you're applying for. We have agriculture and office assistant here. And, upload your resume. And then it will pass the resume to the backend where it will then make a decision. You can see because it looks for some rules and minimum qualifications, and then does deeper analysis of the resume to see if it thinks that you might be a good fit. And then you can.
And then we have the tabs for doing the office assistant and the AG loan officer, respectively, for the positions that we have. And then from here, screeners can select, make a final decision. And here they can also have an archive button that will send after review, it'll send to an archive tab, and it saves for auditing purposes. And I think that's it for our presentation. Thank you.
Great job, guys. I appreciate the impact that you quoted, where you mentioned that it takes roughly between 5 and 30 minutes for an application review. What other impact do you see this improving within the Department of Human Resources, such as accuracy, increase in the pool of quality applicants, things like that?
Yeah, we like to think that it would be able to help them filter out quality applicants. A human reviewer might get tired of their day or get lazy with reviewing something. So having the AI be able to screen a person, and like the AI doesn't get tired, right? So it'll always do a good job, and then it can help the human reviewers be more accurate than they would have been otherwise without it as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Great presentation. What surprises did you encounter in the process of doing that? And what would you address if you had more time to work on that project?
Yes, if I had more time.
Can you speak into the mic, please? Thank you.
Oh, if I had more time, something we'd like to do is get, more positions and more applicants and more historical data to train the AI to try to, make sure, especially that it's not biased or anything, and then, performs better ends up with better results for our screeners and for our HR employees.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Coming up next, we have HBU LMTT.
Hello, everyone. My team and I, we've developed an ETS web application, which in essence is a standardized IT project review platform. Before we dive in, we'd love to introduce ourselves to you. So we are Team LMTC, which actually stands for Link, Mateo, Tyler, and Truman. We're all students at Hawaii Pacific University, currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer science, and we're super excited to be presenting with you today. The main problem that we noticed is actually the issue of standardization with the agencies who host these projects in terms of having vendors report on them. This leads to inconsistencies in terms of data tracking, making it hard to understand how projects progress throughout the year. So our solution with these problems in mind is a web application which is currently hosted on AWS that is geared towards 3 specific user groups. The first group is the public, who have a read-only access to all projects and then all associated reports with each project. Next, we have our vendors who can view their side project, all the data that they need, and then they can make informed reports guided by our web application. Lastly, we have our ETS employees, or admin users, who have an overall management of the system, and they manage all the projects, they manage the vendors that report on the projects, and they manage the vendor reports as well. And our vendors and admin users are authenticated through Java Web Tokens for security purposes. And our project actually has 3 unique features that we'd love to show with you today. Our first one is a simple accessibility settings feature to help cater the data to different user needs, whether it's changing the font or changing the theme from light to dark. Next, we have a centralized view of project data and analytics. We have various displays and graphs that display what's going on in the project so that it's easier to understand how they're progressing. And finally, we have an intuitive UI that just helps all users understand what's going on in the projects, and admins and vendors handle their tasks efficiently. And we just wanted to extend a huge mahalo, and we'll be going deeper into these features in our live demo led by Tyler.
Okay, now let's take a look at the user experience in-app that we've been able to deploy using Amazon Web Services. Shout out AWS. When we first started our vendor portal, we were logged in as an IDB vendor to submit a standardized report. Okay, sorry about that. So first we start our vendor portal. We're logged in as an IDB vendor to submit a standardized report. When creating a report, vendors will update financial, scope, and schedule statuses, as well as adding a summary to include key details for that month. Vendors will also handle issue tracking for each project while being able to provide recommendations for resolving those issues. Once a report is created, it will become available for ETS employees to view in their admin dashboard, where they can either approve or deny them before it officially becomes available for the public. To see how that is done, let's go ahead and log in as an ETS admin user. The login system is handled by our backend framework Strapi that authenticates user information for IB&E vendors or ETS employee admins. After the ETS employee credentials are entered, we now have access to the admin dashboard. So if that was working, admin users, they would have site-wide access with the ability to manage all major state IT projects, approved IB vendors, and their submitted vendor reports. we would go ahead then and approve the report that we had just created, which would allow the public to gain access to that information. And then logging out will just redirect you to our public view. So anyone there who wants to find more information can do so. If we were able to click into one of these projects here. Oh, sorry. It would show our new report with all the data being presented in easy to view graphs and lists. And then also to increase accessibility, we added options to increase the text size. We can switch to a dark mode and then have the ability to export the reports as PDFs. That's all we have for you. We hope you enjoy our presentation and we'll now open up to questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Even though the technology didn't work, really appreciate all of your efforts on this specific challenge. I know we weren't able to see it, but when the IBB reports are uploaded, can you see them? Can you see multiple reports at the same time, or just one by one and tracking that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the ETS employee admins, they'll be able to have a list of all the reports. And then the IBB vendor will also have a list of those reports. They end up, when they're created, they start as a draft, goes to the ETS employee admin where they can approve or deny, that'll go back. So yes, there's an entire list of all the reports.
So as someone who is in the business of doing demos, quite often I'll just tell you the demo gods always find a way to strike and way to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And I would just say, you know, kudos to you all for the call out on accessibility. I think you're the first ones to have that call out today. And it's a super important topic because you try and open up services broadly to all of Hawaii. So shout out on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Team 2. Up next, we have team local host.
All right, aloha, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends.
Aloha.
I'm glad to be here with all of you. I am representing local host, team of one, just me. But to get started, so we are dealing with the ETS project, the ones that our lovely gentleman just did before me. But yeah, the issue, hey, they just got a lot of reports and bro, they're all different. What do we do? And so to deal with that issue, all of the information is different, hard to compare. We help to just standardize it into one builder so they can easily put in your information, render it out as all the same form. And those information pieces, since they're stored on the site instead of PDF, they can be directly compared, contrasted. And also, since I, as an engineer, I don't really know what information everyone is going to need for the reports. So instead of building a form every single field, I made a builder for the form for the builder. So you can just say, hey, if you want to add this field later, you can. That's the good part about that. So the thing that makes that reasonable, yeah, if you've ever had a car, which I think most of us have, if that thing breaks down, you got to go to a specialist. You got to talk to them, be like, hey, I want this fixed or I want this customized. With this solution, you don't need to do any of that. If you want to add one text field, you don't need to pay someone $10 and $100 to add one text field. You can say, oh yeah, I want one text field, and you just pop it into the building. Other things, yeah, it's great to have the reports visible, but you can't really call it transparent because it's hard for the customers and the vendors and users to view. And so this helps to make that as apparent as possible. But let's just jump straight into the demo. I'll pop up right now. We're logged in here as a vendor. So we're going to pop out the report section. And here we can see all of the vendors, but most importantly, ours at the top. We can see all of the reports that we've made, whether it's in draft form, approved, published, pending. But we can take a look at that and see, okay, cool, this is our draft unfinished report. We could go back, we could go and edit that report, say, hey, so cool. And we can say, save that, that's cool, I'll keep it as a draft. If you want to push it out, you just press the publish button, and now it says pending. But what do we do about that? Can't do anything about that as a vendor. You need to be an admin, which I am. So I'll look at these reports. Hey, here's a lot of reports that need, approval. I can view, and I can say, all right, sure, I'll approve that one, even though I really shouldn't have. Go to this one, I can say, oh, this one's cool. This one probably should approve, but I'll reject it. So now we got that really, really simple process. As a user, normal user, you're not going to see any of these special admin vendor only features. I'm just going to keep it secure. And then really good thing, you can not just view one report, you can click multiple reports and you can compare them. And it'll show them in an overlapping view with information from one report in blue, other report in yellow. If there's a special type of field, like a bar chart, it'll overlay the data together. You can see that directly and really see changes, because that's what these reports are for. So you can track how the business is doing. You can really, see the progress. And so that's what we really specified practice there. This does come with, of course, light mode, dark mode. But yeah, this really helps to build out the good things. This is managed on Prisma and React and Router, Tailwind, all very, very heavily used things in the industry. And so you're not going to run into an issue where like, oh, I need to specialize. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To the judges for questions.
Thank you, great presentation. Thank you. A question that I had, I could have missed it, but could the vendor upload a report, or do they have templates? I saw where a vendor could input information, but oftentimes vendors have a lot of different types of requirements to share, like financial data, for example. Some are texts, some are bar charts,
Right.
Can you describe that part of the functionality? Thank you.
Yeah, so if we go over to, this is again the form for filling out and making those reports, all of the information that was rendered out in the reports that you saw is over here, including the bar chart information is all over here. So if I change this information, it would update the bar charts. Any of those more specialized informations like file upload, you can, later implement, file input, chart, all those things can be done from the admin side.
Yeah, great demo. And I like the way how you approach simplicity. My favorite is called KISS models, like keep it simple and stupid. So that's the way how to do it. So I actually have a question for you. How would you take maybe some of those new multimodal AI features that will maybe, instead of the traditional dashboard, looks awesome, but maybe have a different way to communicate with AI model?
Yeah, and so the really good thing is, since it's so simple and it works completely with the code, if you implemented an AI, it would be really easy to just tell the AI, okay, take this information and render out these forms, because all of these different inputs and text fields and everything are just components that are separate, completely movable. And so you can just tell the AI, hey, I'm wanting more of this for the form, I can fill it out. Or hey, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
One known as local toast. Up next, we move on to our next team, Open to Work. Testing. All right. Aloha, my Paco. My name is Cody Torres, presenting on behalf of Team Open to Work. Our challenge was the ETS project review application, and I present to you our solution, the Local dashboard. So for some context, public services in Hawaii often known as JIT projects, which must be validated by IBMD's vendors. It's important for ATS employees to manage, review these reports to ensure a smooth project workflow.
However, as it stands right now, it's a bit of a mess on the ETS employee side. There's no standard format for these reports, so each report submission looks wildly different from the last, making it a headache to find the right information. In addition, there's no system that automatically tracks these reports or even comments or tracks their logs. So to address this, we developed the HACC dashboard application, which is meant to organize reports and provide a platform for project management. So how it works is that there's 3 different types of users. The ETS employees who are responsible for creating projects, assigning them to vendors, viewing, commenting, and approving reports. They're able to review all reports that need to be reviewed in a single place. The IB vendors who submit monthly reports to the application, who are able to view comments left by the reviewers and directly make changes to reports that are updated instantly. And for public viewers like you and me, we can view all reports that have been published so far and make use of an AI chatbot to help better understand what these reports are about. So as for how our application innovates, we have a report autofill feature that reads a vendor's submitted PDF report and fills out our standardized form in seconds, saving a ton of time, making the transition for vendors very smooth. Also, as mentioned previously, the chatbot is available to all users that can explain the important aspects of each report, lowering the barrier of entry for understanding where our local projects currently sit at. So overall, the impact of our application is its user friendliness. ETS employees get standardized reports, meaning they no longer have to sift through a ton of different reports. It's all in one place. Vendors can upload reports to the standardized form even faster. And even people like you and me can better interpret the reports that have been published. Moving on to our demonstration here. So here is the dashboard. We would first sign in via Google. So this is what it looks like for the admin page. We can see the reports that are pending approval. Let's check out this one over here. Information about who published it. This is a standardized form containing project overview and other different things. Other findings that weren't in the overview, the attached report, as well as comments that we can then directly talk to the vendors with. We can approve it like this. Switching over to the vendor view, we can submit a report like this. So here I'll upload our original report here. And we'll tick on the autofill button. So wait for it to upload here, boom. While it's autofilling, I can select the project that's been assigned to me, as well as, of course, the month and year. And let's take a look at our standardized form, including important metrics about team performance, project management, technical readiness, a summary, key highlights, budget and schedule statuses, as well as add additional report findings that were not mentioned in the previous areas. So here it's finished. I can submit it like this. And as for the users like you and me, you won't have access to the dashboard. Instead, we'll have the public reports catalog, where we can directly view each of the submitted reports that have been approved by ETS admins. In addition, we can press the AI button here and have it talk about what was the latest DOE report about. And that's our presentation model.
So first off, great job walking through both the use case, the problem statement, the solution that you're delivering, as well as the overall demo. Where do you see a similar question to others, if given more time? Where would you go next?
Given more time, we really wanted to have a feature where the previous month's report can be directly compared to the newest one. That's the most important feature that I wanted to add, but we have no time.
Great job. Quick question. As you know, that there are always rules, regulations, things like that that change from time and time again. And you've done a really great job at basically incorporating these rules and designing around them. So how easy is it to make changes and to make updates based on new rules and regulations?
Yes. Okay. So for the vendor side, let's go over here. Check out the current projects that we have. We'll wrap the reports here. So we can just edit the report like this. And we can just make changes immediately and submit them, and it's all live. Our backend context is always synchronized across all users, and the admins themselves can actually directly talk here, and it's all immediate. So no need to go through emails if we're both on this app at the same time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One other question that I had for you, and I could have missed it, but when the admin has to approve the report, I'm assuming it gets approved before it gets uploaded. How does that happen again, please? Thank you.
All right, so if you look at the dashboard here, we got a report. All we gotta do is read through, well, this is the filler report here, but we read through it. We can even cross-reference each of the overview sections with the original report attached. It's a simple press of a button, approve or unapprove the minutes.
Great, thank you.
Open to work. That sets up the stage for our next presenters, the team known as Control, Alt, Decline.
The team of Control Alt Decline, and our solution name is Rainbow Road. So this is our team name.
You are tackling the UH Pathfinder challenge. Some problems that college students may have is that there's an overwhelming number of options, advising and tools can be limited. If they don't get enough self-research, their path can be costly and very pivot. Some solutions that our website will have is it will narrow college choices that's best for students. There will be an AI bot that will provide relevant information, and there will be classes, and also it will display a game of life for the subject.
Going to our unique approach, our UI design has a story onto itself, saying going up to the sky where we have our dreams and aspirations, and going down to the sea to really choose what campus majors we really want. And this not only, our solution not only allows us to give the user a campus major to choose from, but also give them an experience of what it's like to live and learn in life.
How do we find this? Our website will give you a short quiz with questions about your interests and goals to find out the college and majors best suited to you. It'll then give you a pathway about your major, but if that's not enough, it'll bring you to a live path where it'll show you a day-to-day life about your major in that specific campus.
In order to encompass the diverse students at the UH, we implemented features that allow for accessibility. Whether you speak another language, struggle with literacy, need someone to talk to, or want to experience the full, colorful campus in your own eyes.
The structure for this website is that the front end is with React, and then it has this Python, which is a fast API, and then finally we go on to and this is our website. So we have an account section where you can sign up, where you can put your name, your email, your password to create an account. After creating it, we can continue to make it more tailored to the user. Here we can change the language of it, whether or not they're a transfer student, or whether they have color blindness, which changes the color. And if they click no and start, begins the actual demonstration. So clicking getting started, it takes us to the first question. Here the user can answer the question whatever they like, or if they don't want to type it out, they can use our speech-to-text feature we added. So after clicking submit, it takes us to our interest page. Here we can choose several types of icons of the user's interest or what they like, or if we want, we can put a personal interest onto it. After clicking submit, using those interests, we take into the skills page, which generates the skills. After clicking the skills and submitting to them, it takes us to our input, we're a campus map. In the middle of our campus map, we can see all the 10 campuses of the UH system. And if you have any questions about the campuses of the UH system, it takes us to we can ask our AI bot, Kayla. Kayla basically tells us questions about it. Okay. So if we go to this dashboard, it takes us to things we submit. If we want to edit things, we can always go back to it. Okay. Going back and selecting our specific campus and choosing going like this. The campus, we can check whatever campus we like. And it goes on to an in-depth review of what the campus represents. Here we can upload an image to show it ourselves at that campus at UH, where a person can take a picture of themselves and our AI generates a picture. Here.
Great presentation. When you talk about support of multi-language, I'm curious about, is an app available to support like the Hawaii language?
Not now. We would really like to implement that later on, but as of now, we only implemented languages that are that other databases has. So like say for instance, we use Google Translate to basically translate everything. It doesn't really have that feature, or it doesn't really have that specific feature.
So it seemed like maybe you were about to possibly show a little bit more there. What would we have seen if you were able to keep going?
Yeah, if we were able to keep going, we would just show us the pathway of like all the classes you need to take, as well as an in-depth review of a day in the life, all set each semester, where you can click to see your direction of route you just normally be at the campus.
This is really awesome, so thank you for walking us through this. This is more of a comment than a question. First and foremost, I really appreciate the different languages, as Daniel mentioned, that you incorporated into your solution, because language access is so important here in Hawaii. And also, where was this when I was going to UH? So, thank you.
Thank you.
We're moving right along. We only have 4 presenters left in this college division. And our next presenter is the team known as Delivered by Daylight.
Aloha, my name is Noel Singh, and I'm part of the Delivered by Daylight group. We were working towards making a UH Manila Pathfinder system in order to aid incoming and current college students and finding the best classes that might relate to a career or a major that they're interested in. So first of all, I want to talk about our project management. We wanted to focus on using Scrum methodologies to make sure to, through our development, we did weekly sprints, we did daily check-ins with each other. Furthermore, Scrum methodologies we're not aware of. One of them is self-organized division of work. So not one person was just the front end or back end developer. Everyone had like a say in everything and contributed to every part of the project. Furthermore, we did use Jira to manage our tasks. We made user and developer stories based on the product requirements and details. And furthermore, we used it to store our product backlog as well as track our overall sprint progress. For our development tools, we made our project with the Django Python framework. Our project runs on Python 3.11 and above. We use Phoenix Code for the backend, VS Code for the front end, GitHub to push and pull and update for any updates and codes. Furthermore, we did use Google Gemini for our key, our API, and our model. For accessibility, it is very important that we include this. We still have more features we want to include, but for now, we wanted to make sure we had a simple interface design so that if someone's not so tech savvy, they are able to understand. Furthermore, we tested against the Web Content Accessibility Guideline for sufficient color contrasting, and this was our results. The standard is 4.5, so we doubled it. Furthermore, we have included keyboard navigation. For security-wise, it is a little bit different since we aren't actually asking for any user input in terms of like, you don't have to say your name, your student number, your student email. It's completely anonymous to help keep the AI unbiased. Furthermore, we did have our context string to tell the AI not to inquire about personal data. And this was me even asking it, do I need to send you my student ID, your name? And we kind of just wanted to make sure that that was always a priority. So for our demo, this is what our chatbot kind of looks like. So first, it's just going to ask the user if they have an idea in mind. I'm just going to say yes for this one. And I'm going to say nursing. As many of you know, UH Manila has a beautiful nursing program. So the core pathway will deliver a couple of nursing classes and courses that are related to what you mentioned. Furthermore, this is supposed to work in pairing with an academic advisor who will help you gather your prereqs, because obviously you can't get a degree without them. Furthermore, say that you're a little bit unsure about what you want to do. It'll ask, 1 second, sorry. A lot of students don't always have like their, like, I guess, direct major in mind. So they may be asked to, there was like a no option, so you would be able to say no, and then you were able to input your interests. So say if you have art, it'll give you various art classes, and then you can go deeper in talking about the medias you want to work with. We found that it was very important to integrate features like this because a lot of students have interest, but they can't find a major that correlates to that. Future implements though that we want to do is make it more interactive, and you can pair it with more accessibility features. Furthermore, it's just important to make sure that you know, this can be accessible to everyone, and make sure we add things like languages, because UHML is also very known for having a good foreign exchange student program. Other things that we want to include is master programs, as well as creating your own major, because that is something that's becoming more popular and relevant these days. Thank you.
Great job. You know, I wish that part of the demo worked, but if you didn't know what you wanted to go into and you put it in terms like, let's say, INA or sustainability or resilience, what would your model come back out with?
It would pass on to sustainable practices. I know UH has, because we've inputted the CSV from the whole database. And so it most likely point you to like sustainability classes, or even Hawaiian, like not Hawaiian studies, because that is something important. I know UH has like science classes that are more focused on like the ecosystem of Hawaii and how like they're able with the lo'i and hair patches, stuff like that. So it would definitely point to that. And it would, sometimes it gives you lists, or you can even ask for a more in-depth description about the courses that they're recommending.
I appreciate your call out on how you guys came together as a team to develop. Just kind of curious, what takeaways did you learn from coming together and assembling an app like this in such short time?
So we are all full-time students. My members aren't with me. We're full-time students, and most of us are part, if not full-time workers as well. So it's a lot of with scheduling is like one of the most challenging things. But I think using Scrum was very good, because say if someone was strictly developer and they didn't have as much time, we would be waiting on that one person. So I think everyone kind of just getting their overall skills on the same like level and par, it helped us work better with each other and avoid you know, having to wait on one other person. It helped us be all like contribute in the best way we could.
Thank you very much. Thank
you. For presenters to go, our next group, HACC.
What's the second videos?
Hello, everyone. So our team would like to present our project EduPath, in which that provides students with personalized college and career pathway. My name is Kwan Lok Lam, and I'm a student at US Manwan. So I would like to introduce you Anne, who is a high school student in the rural area of Hawaii, and she wants to plan her career pathway. However, she feels lost when trying to connect her interests, strengths, and goals with the real academic and career path. The course catalog are confusing for her. Advising is limited and difficult to reach because she lives far away from the campuses. So there's a lack of clarity, confidence, and direction for Anne to plan her future career. And this is not only the problem for Anne, but also the problem for 41% of the high school students in the United States who feel unprepared for choosing the career pathways. So our approach is that we use AI to make the personalized for this university pathway for the student. Our app is have a live connection with the list of occupation on the market and the courses offered by the college. And it provides a list of courses in semester by semester to the student so that they can study. Moreover, it also suggests the extracurricular activities and stuff because like besides courses, right? In the university, you attend the talk and you attend other many events like hackathon. And we also have the career option for people to choose category. So the student will receive a clear roadmap to for the career. So this is our prototype. So this is the our app that in which that like students can select like the grade in the high school, and they can interest, they can select multiple, for example, like STEM and computing and business economics. They can select their dream career, which one from the list of all of those, right? For example, like information security analyst, and then they match strength like math and technology, and the long-term goal is high income, work-life balance, and also relative freedom. And they click on this pathway form, and the information will be sent through AI. So the AI will give up the list of all the courses for each semester in 4 years, and also it that success activities and the program the students should attend, as well as the potential careers. So not only like the one that fit the dream career, but also the related one, so they can choose from that. It takes a while for the AI because it is the live connection with the website of the US. So in with that, when the US change the courses, so the AI will be adapted immediately. So we don't have a delay, right? Otherwise, like when people So as you can see here, we have all the courses for 4 years, and you see the activities that the program student can attend and the potential career. So not only security analysis, but also like computers analyst and management analyst. And if you click on one courses, right? For example, like CS 101, you will see how it is connected to all other courses. And here's like the description of this one, how it's integrated with the other courses and how it contributes to career in the future. So our app make the impact is lower the barrier for the college and career planning to students. And it supports the underserved students in the rural area, which are very important. It also strengthens the workforce readiness for the people in the future and improve the college completion rate because they can select the one that the courses that are related to their interest and their strength. And moreover, it has to support the counselor and the teacher and the student in the university and also empower the next generation of students in university. Thank you very much.
A good job and the demo here. I think I saw some of the similar demo earlier for this challenges. I think there's quite a bit of emphasis on your personal interest and skill sets. I actually love the fact that you also highlight your long-term goals as in there. That's more common because a lot of times we're thinking about I'm interested in study biology, right? That's my personal interest. Also skill sets in there, but is there a job market for me? I like the fact that you actually highlight that. So kudos for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, great presentation. I honed in on extracurricular activities. I thought that was unique, and I for you to highlight, as especially for students coming in here and they don't know what kinds of extracurricular activities are available to them at the University of Hawaii, for example. If you had more time, what else would you do to enhance the tool that you've created?
If I have more time, first of all, I will make the mobile app version, design the website version, because most students, like in the rural area, if they are from the poor family, maybe like they have the poor data, put them like 24 hours. So it's easier for them to access that. For example, like during the day at the school, right? If they have an idea, oh, maybe I like to become a doctor, right? They can take the phone and okay, check that and what they get.
Great job. I want to echo what Christine just said about the extracurricular activity. Now, you went by that slide so fast. I didn't notice if you had the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge on there.
Actually, like I do not. This is like this hackathon, but I also success like the hackathon. So you can see here in our app, like in our here, if you see that like here we have a hackathon and coding competition.
Thank you very
And we have our final two presenters in the college category. Please welcome up Nintendo DS. Everybody, let's also give a nice round of applause to our IT and tech support. Things don't work and we go into a panic. Thank you so much for your service. Judges, how you doing, judges? Good? Good. All right. Keeping up with each presentation? It's a lot to process. You guys have the hardest job here today, but we are almost through. Once again, we are on our final two groups in the college category. And after that, after these next two groups, we will be putting up the poll for the People's Choice Awards, and then we'll have everybody vote. And then we will take a quick break for lunch. Once again, that's coming up after our next two presenters.
Aloha judges, we are Team Nintendo DS. I'm Samantha and this is Kaya, and we're excited to present our solution for the Youth Pathfinder AI Challenge called UH Pathways. So right now, when students want to explore career or course options, Their choices are to either wait to schedule a meeting with their academic advisor to discuss their career plans or navigate through fragmented websites across 10 different UH campuses with large volumes of course information. And this led us to think, how could we possibly simplify this by finding optimal educational pathways and producing personalized courses for these students? Well, that's exactly what our solution, UH Pathways, does, and it does so in just 5 AI prompts. So our solution uses a multi-agent AI system where the team of AI agents work together to find the best educational recommendations. So it works by first analyzing user intent by looking at what users are asking for, abstracting and matching key information, searching across real UH system data to look up UH pathways and careers, verifying and improving the accuracy of these results, and finally generating a personalized pathway to best fit programs and careers. And now moving on to our demo. So when a student first opens their application, they are met with this landing page where they can immediately click the Start Talking button. Once they click that, they can choose a language between English, Hawaiian, Pidgin, or Tagalog, and we'll choose English. So once selected, students see our conversational interface, and there's 2 main key areas. The main chatting interface you see right now, where users can type manual prompts or use suggested prompts, and a left sidebar, which provides a real-time profile tracking building system that the AI continuously updates when it learns more about the user. So let's say we want to explore more about technology and computer science, and we are interested in programming, data structures and algorithms, and problem solving. And our current education level, let's say we're a high school student that wants to enter UH Manila. Our experiences are building personal projects and participating in hackathon. Yeah. And we want to become a software engineer. So as you can see, our profile was built automatically, and once generated, it generates a user summary, and it also states the interests, skills, education levels, and experiences that we just stated, and this does it in mere seconds. And now you can see a list of specializations that students can explore, and you can see a list of actual courses from the UH catalog and campuses where these programs are available. And on the right-hand side, another sidebar is generated showing additional information such as key skills required for the student's intended career, which is software engineering, and current hiring companies, and a list of recommended actions students can take. And if we select the detailed data tab, the market intelligence provides top tech companies hiring in Hawaii and the most in-demand skills for specific job titles and company demands to help students understand real job market needs. And this data is reflective of official Hawaii state data from their career exploration platform. And thank you for listening.
So I love that you connected to careers at the end there and showing postings. I'm just curious, where are you pulling that data from? And then the follow-on is, like, how dynamic is that across the different job categories, and is that always refreshed, or how does that work?
Yes, so the data is pulled from the official Hawaii state data from their career exploration platform. So it is actual official data, and those job postings, once they get posted, they're automatically inputted, and they're reflective of it dynamically adjusts to the user's input. So in our demo, we showed software engineers, so it showed software engineer jobs. But if we were to choose some other subject that the user was interested in, such as design, it would show upcoming design jobs, and it's based on actual data from Hawaii State provides.
Awesome demo here. So the job market changed quite a bit, especially with AI. Any thoughts about how often are going to refresh those data sets, especially on the job market side of it?
That's a good question. I think it's important to keep continuously updating, especially as you said, job market data. I think that's one of our next steps is to try to integrate a system that includes more AI focus job opportunities, since that's where the market is currently heading. So
Thank you, great presentation. I think you were showing, what if you don't know what you'd like to become? And so was there part of the solution that maybe could help guide you based on your interests? What kind of potential careers would be open to you?
yes.
Or majors, think?
Once these prompts or suggested prompts are optional, if the user says the user doesn't know what they want to go into, they can simply state that. And saying, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I don't know what I want to go into.
Time. That concludes our time. Thank you so much.
Nintendo DX. And our final presenters in the college division, please welcome up the team known as Affinity.
Hi judges, hi everyone. My name is Fong, and this is Daniel, and we are Affinity. Yeah, there's actually two more members in our team. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it today. So the challenge that we chose is the UH Pathfinder AI, and the current approach to find the dream career path right now is often looking through the course catalog. And the problem with this is it's outdated and it's slow. So what we came up with as a group is we created a conversational AI chatbot. Our conversational AI chatbot is designed to answer all of your questions regarding the career pathway explorations and or major requirements. And what we hope to accomplish is we hope to improve the experience of finding your dream career path better. And these are the tech stack that we use. If you want to talk about it, and let's take a look at our tech. So when we designed the app, we was thinking there are multiple types of user. You can either be like a high school or like middle school student, or just exploring the career paths, or you can be in college. And like my freshman year, I was actually like an architect major, and I was just having many different thoughts. I didn't know why. I didn't know what I don't know. I have so many questions, and I didn't know where to start.
So once we log in, we're able to view our app's chatbot. It's able to generate a roadmap based on the user's input, but also answer general questions about the use systems, campuses, courses, and majors. But its main purpose is to generate a roadmap for the user. So if we follow the conversational flow of the chat, we'll eventually create a roadmap. But for demo purposes, I will skip to the last step, and it will be able to choose the correct program and courses for the user and suggest activities and milestones for each semester. Our goal was to make this data be displayed in a user-friendly way. But we weren't able to finish on time. But once the data is generated, we are able to use the roadmap in an interactive graph. Which if you want to drag and zoom in. The courses and milestones. We also have another option to generate a roadmap to a form in case you don't want to talk to the chatbot. But once the form is finished, it will redirect the user into this page where they'll be able to see all the roadmaps they're able to generate. In this personalized roadmap, they will be able to see courses that will relate to their interests and skills, and also the milestones.
Right, fine.
Judges for the final round of questions.
The question, if you had more time, what would you have shown us?
Probably, if we have more time, we probably go through this form, which will generate skills and interests and content. And also have a catalog of predefined roadmaps in case the user does not know which.
Nice. And then, to add on to that, we wanted to make the app as accessible and as easy to use as possible. So, everything you need to know about how to use the app, and you see on the landing page. So, if you scroll down, it will show you some of the things that, some other features that we have along with the conversational AI. We generate an academic roadmap, and because we only generate the roadmap, we connect the students with the mentors such as advisors who is able to give feedback on this portion that is related to the career path.
Great job, guys. So I would just wanted to say that I really appreciated seeing all these presentations about the AI career pathways created by college students. And so my question to you is, how much of this solution was designed by your own lived experience as well as your conversations with other students?
I wasn't admitted to my team software developer, but I can speak from my own point of view. So I think like from our experience like designing the app, challenges that we faced is probably like we had a lot of conflicts like how we wanted and how we and doing it. It's just like an act and forth, but I think like, as we develop the app, we can closer to getting proper another.
Great, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more round of applause because we have made it with all of our people. Before we release you folks to lunch, we want to say a big hello to our judges, as you folks have a very hard job. You folks will now be dismissed to the judging room to tabulate the scores and determine the winners. So ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause to our judges. We want to invite you to open up that link and you can vote for your People's Choice Awards. Once again, that voting is now open, and the winner of the People's Choice Awards, each team member will get a $25 Amazon gift card. So look at that link and it will take you to a page where you can submit your votes. Once you are done voting, you folks will be released to lunch for about 30 minutes. And then let's all aim to be back here around 1:10, 1:15 for the big moment of the day, the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your votes for the People's Choice Awards, and mahalo for being here.
You can connect to that Wi-Fi over there. You see it has the Wi-Fi password.
Thank God for technology.
Right over there. Right over there. You see the piece of paper? That's the password.
Then once you have cast your vote, you will be released for lunch. And let's all aim to be back here around 1:10, 1:15.